What up, guys? It's Salvajee from Salvajee Cartel. We're back with another Salvajee Speaks, and in this Salvajee Speaks, I'm going to be teaching you guys how motivation works. Okay? The reason why I'm teaching you guys how motivation works instead of just making another video to motivate and inspire you guys is because if you know how motivation works, you know when is the right time for you to get back the motivation that you've lost. Okay? If you know how motivation works, you know how to develop self-motivation. If you know how motivation works, then obviously you know how you work, and you know what to do when you lose your motivation, all that good stuff. So with that said, I'm going to be using sort of a lot of images, I guess, because if you want to remember something in a very easy way, just put images behind the thoughts and it's going to come easier to you. Okay, so we're going to be using a cold forest as an example for this video. Okay, so let's say that the world is a very, very cold forest. Okay, it's a very cold forest. It's very, very cold, and the only way to stay warm in this forest is to build a fire. But we have the average people. We have the people that live in a cold forest. We have the average people that live in the world, but they want to choose the easy way out. They want to win the lottery. They hope to become an overnight success, right? These are the average people. These are the people that live in a cold forest, but yet they don't want to do anything to keep themselves warm. Okay, they don't want to get motivated. Okay, and then of course we have the other types of people. Okay, we have the people that live in a cold forest. Okay, but then these people, they realize, hey, you know what? I live in a cold forest. It's really, really cold, and I need to stay warm. Okay, so of course these people that live in a cold forest, they go out into the forest and they get firewood, and then they build a fire. In fact, they build such a big fire that's keeping them so warm that the cold temperatures of the forest aren't even affecting them anymore. How does that translate into the real world? Okay, well, here's how it translates into the real world. You are so motivated that you feel as if you can accomplish anything. That's what happens when you have a big fire in front of you in a cold forest. You feel unstoppable. You feel as if nothing can stop you. Okay, so with that said, let's get back to the cold forest, because there are two types of people that build their fire. So we have the first type of person. Okay, this is the person that lives in a cold world and realizes, holy shit, it's really, really cold in here, but I can do something about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a fire. Okay, but then that fire starts going out and they don't go and get the firewood. In other words, you get super motivated, then you just lose your motivation, and then you just give up on your goal just because you lost motivation. So then you go back to being an average person in a cold forest that doesn't do anything to keep themselves warm. But then there's another type of person. Okay, there's the type of person that you live in a cold forest, you build a fire to stay warm, and then you realize that the fire is going out. Okay, and since the fire is going out, obviously you realize, okay, I'm losing motivation, I'm losing the fire, I'm losing the thing that keeps me warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and get more firewood. Okay, these are the people that constantly stay motivated, guys. The people that get motivated, and as soon as they detect that they're losing their motivation, as soon as they see that they're losing the fire that's keeping them motivated, they actually get more motivated. In fact, I do this myself as well. If I feel sort of unmotivated, if I feel like I'm not motivated, instead of just saying fuck it, hopefully I'll get motivated, what I do is I actually listen to a motivational speech. There's a ton of motivational speeches out there, so you guys have no excuse when it comes down to, I don't know what motivational speech to listen. Just go on YouTube and type motivational speeches. Just watch one of my past Salvajee Speaks, okay? Anyways, the point is that is the person that constantly stays warm in the cold forest. Okay, guys, the person that is constantly building their freaking fires. Okay, you're a person in a cold forest, it's really cold, so you go out, so you make a fire, and then of course you see that the fire's going out, and then of course you get more firewood to keep the fire alive. Those are the people that constantly stay motivated. Now you guys are probably wondering now, okay, Salvajee, now that I know how to stay motivated, which if you still haven't gotten it by now, this is how you stay motivated. You get motivation, and then as soon as you detect that your motivation is going out, you need to get that motivation back. And the way that you get that motivation back is by getting firewood, or by listening to, of course, motivational speeches. Okay, so or just reading a book, or just doing something that inspires and motivates you. But anyways, now you guys are probably wondering, okay, Salvajee, how do I develop self-motivation? This is how you develop self-motivation, of course, from my experience and from a specific perspective, because I definitely feel as if there are other ways to develop self-motivation. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Once you get motivated from an outside source so much, you start growing motivation within you. You start growing self-motivation. Let's go back to the cold forest. You live in a cold forest. Okay, it's really cold in this forest, and then of course you make a fire. When the fire's going out, you get more firewood, and then you make a fire, and then you keep repeating this over and over and over again. Okay, you've made a big fire in front of you so many times that now within you grows a real fire. Now you have the fire within you. In other words, you have adapted to the cold temperatures of the forest. Okay, and you've made a fire so many times that now you have a fire within you. You have a fire within you that keeps you warm. You're in a cold forest, but the cold temperature does not affect you at all whatsoever, just for the main reason that now you are warm within yourself. Okay, and that's how you develop self-motivation, guys. You listen to motivation from outside sources so much. You get motivation from outside sources so much that then you start developing self-motivation. Okay, so that's how you develop self-motivation, guys. By the way, if you have any questions, remember, you guys can always let me know. I mean, ask them, of course, in the comment sections below. But of course, guys, again, that's how you develop self-motivation. You have to be constantly motivated from outside sources until you build motivation within yourself. Why does that work? Well, let me tell you guys why that works. Because the subconscious mind, it's constantly absorbing knowledge. Okay, if you're constantly feeding your mind motivational and inspirational messages over and over and over again, it's going to come to a point where your mind is just going to be brainwashed into those motivational and inspirational comments over and over and over again, and then you're just going to have motivation within you. Like, it's just going to come natural. Motivation to me comes naturally. Alright, I don't need to watch a motivational video to just be motivated, even though I do. Okay, because of course I have a fire within me, but I also want to keep the fire outside of me. And why is it that I want that? Well, here's here's another example, guys. Okay, so let's say that you're losing your self-motivation. Let's say that you're losing the fire within you. Okay, and this happens a lot in life. We can see a lot of examples of people saying, oh, he just lost his inner fire, he just lost the fire within him, he just lost his will to live, or his will to fight, all that good stuff. Okay, so here's what happened. When you start losing that self fire, that self-motivation, that fire within you, what you have to do is go back to the basics. And what are the basics? The basics is you being in that cold forest and getting firewood and building a big fire in front of you. That's how you get your self-motivation back. If you lose your self-motivation, well, you have to get motivation from an outside source. Okay, guys, so that is how motivation works. I hope this video really helped you guys out and actually taught you guys how motivation works, at least from my perspective, because I've been working on this video for about an hour or so, and I've redone it a couple of times because I wanted to get everything perfect. Okay, but anyways, guys, that's how motivation works. If you want to stay motivated, you constantly have to be motivated from outside sources until it gets to a point that you don't need outside sources to stay motivated, and then motivation just comes naturally to you. Okay, so with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop it a like, subscribe to join the Salvajee cartel, check out the Salvajee Speaks playlist for more, and I'll be seeing you guys in the future, of course, with more motivational content. Peace out and have a great 2017.